What's the title of this? Gen Alpha must be stopped. Another gen.
I saw the craziest thing today. I was walking out to my driveway, and out the corner of my eye, like 4 houses down, I saw a kid standing there. How do I say this politely? He looked like diabetes. He was basically a walking beanbag. And it wasn't this kid's fault. He was like 12 years old. Clearly, his parents did a terrible job of making sure that he was active. But I saw him and he was playing catch with his mom. And this kid had the worst throwing motion I've seen in my life. It was clear this is one of the first times he had ever played catch in his life. It was just a tennis ball and he could barely throw it 4 feet. He basically just like turned his body and limp-wristedly threw it, and it barely even moved. And it made me think, does Gen Alpha not know how to throw a ball? Okay, I don't want to come off like an old head, okay? I'm 19, I'm Gen Z, I can barely pay attention for 5 seconds, okay?
Exactly my point. This man cannot. He wants to talk shit on some kid who cannot throw a ball, and he's only 19. Bro, what can you do as a 19-year-old, bro? Like, that's what I mean. What creativity do they have? What skills do they acquire? Do they know how to paint? Do they know how to be a mechanic? They do know how to fix things. Do they know how to react quickly, assertively, situationally? Do they know how to piece a problem together that's an actual life problem, not a math problem, an actual life problem, and get it solved without fucking crying, complaining?
I get it. But seriously, every time I run into a kid who's Gen Alpha, they're like the most unathletic thing I've ever seen in my life. I literally remember like a month and a half ago, my family threw a New Year's party and this kid came to the house. I think he was in 6th grade. He was like 11 or 12 years old. And the entire time he was on his dad's phone playing Subway Surfers, swiping. And the only time he got off of it is when me and my friends invited him to come play Call of Duty with us. Now you may be saying, Philip, you're such a hypocrite. You're playing video games at the party also, which I understand to an extent, but I was playing it in a social environment with other people. We were playing split screen. Anyways, this kid comes and his only response to everything is, "That's so cookie." I don't even know what that means. Every time anyone would ask him something, he'd just be like, "That's so cookie, that's so cookie, that's so cookie." Every time he'd kill someone in the game, "That's so cookie, that's so cookie, that's so cookie." And it was funny like the first like 3 times, but on the 20th time, it's like, bro, please chill out. And as soon as we finished playing and it was time to eat dinner, he was back on his phone watching TikToks, watching YouTube, whatever, Coco Melon, whatever. I was like, damn, bro, this is just sad. And if you think about it, if he's in 6th grade now, he spent a large part of elementary school inside his house because of, you know what I mean? Like, I spent part of 9th grade and 10th grade inside, and even that year and a half in high school gave me some serious social issues whenever we came back to the public. Like, imagine spending elementary school when you're supposed to be learning how to communicate and collaborate and talk to people inside, where the only thing you can do is go on your computer or your iPad or your phone, and you're just constantly consuming content 24/7. That probably has some terrible effects on your mind. I mean, even if you look at the humor of Gen Alpha, it's always the most fast-paced, sensory overload of information, like Skibbity Ohio Phantom Tax Riz, bro. What does that even mean? I mean, even the biggest creator on YouTube, Mr. Beast, his videos have progressively gotten more and more fast-paced as the years have progressed because kids' attention spans have gotten so short. For the longest time, I thought the whole iPad kid thing was just a meme and it wasn't like real, but I see more and more of these kids coming out to the public where they cannot leave their iPad alone. They're just carrying it around like a briefcase. But to me, the saddest part of Gen Alpha is just how nihilistic they are. Like, as a youth, you tend to be more rebellious and nihilistic in general, but to them it seems like it's gotten to an extent where they just don't care about anything. They think everything's like a joke. And obviously I'm fine with dark humor. I love dark humor, but it's gotten to the point where there's no joke anymore. Like, I literally remember on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, I literally saw his speeches on Instagram and all the comments were like, "What is bro yapping about?" And obviously I'm fine with dark humor, but it's gotten to a point where I don't think they're even joking. I think they genuinely don't even care what Martin Luther King Jr. has to say. Another thing that surprised me about Gen Alpha is the rise of streamers. And you may think, what does that even have to do with Gen Alpha? Just hear me out. I have a ton of respect for guys like Kai Cenat who have grown their brands super rapidly in a span of like 2 or 3 years. But my question is, who has 10 hours a day to watch him stream? And I don't know any adults who are watching Kai Cenat. I'm just gonna be honest. It has to be kids.
Bro, do you get outside? Do you go outside? He said, I don't know who, like, I understand that part. Who's watching him for hours on hours and hours? Because I'm sure as hell not. I watch him here and there, but I do get outside. I do stuff outside. But see, I'm a millennial. I'm not a Gen Z. I'm not a no. It's millennial, and that's the problem with this new generation. iPads, TikTok, scroll. Like, bro, go outside. Go actually do something with yourself. Like, this shit is. It's crazy because wait till they get to the point in life where they're gonna have to defend, like, basically live their life. They're not going to know what to do with themselves.
Kids. And I know that Kaisenat streams at night, so what it means is that kids are getting home from school, hopping on Twitch, and watching their favorite streamer all the way until 4 5 a.m., going to bed, waking up 4 hours later, and then heading to school. Like, that's like super detrimental. And I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with enjoying streaming. I think it's a great platform for entertainment. But if you're constantly watching XQC like for hours every single day, that is not healthy, bro. Like, if you're a kid, you should be active, you should be doing sports, you should be learning, constantly expanding your mind. You shouldn't be watching streamers react to other videos on the internet for 10 hours a day. I remember seeing this interview of Kanye where he said, Instagram got your girl, which I think is very true in this day and age. But I think what's equally true is that YouTube Kids and TikTok got your kids. You no longer own your kids' minds. It's whatever content they consume on a
Yep.
daily basis. And I don't think this is necessarily exclusive to Gen Alpha because I grew up on YouTube myself. I skipped out on the weird stuff. I was watching like Ryan Higa when I was 7 years old, and he's the GOAT. But do you remember those weird Spider-Man and Elsa videos that were popping in like 2016? Well, the kids who
Nope.
watched those videos grew up and now they're spamming Skibidi Ohio Phantom Tax Riz in the chat. I feel like in the past couple of generations, trust in the system has declined greatly and nihilism as a whole has just skyrocketed. Since the Vietnam War, which is now seen as something that America probably shouldn't have gotten involved in, to the president getting head from an intern in the White House, to now way more dark things that have been exposed by the highest people of society, it's like there is no more trust that the people at the top have our best interest at heart. And that's why in
Never
some ways,
did.
the rise of Gen
Never
Alpha
did.
is a great thing. I feel like now kids are interested in so many different things that everything is decentralized. If you look at media, it used to be a couple large conglomerates owned everything that everyone consumed on TV. Now it's so decentralized that you can find a niche in virtually anything on social media. I think that's a great thing. Anyone can make money, anyone can succeed with what they're interested in. It's really easy to hate on the next generation, you know? It's easy to hate on these kids that are out of shape, they don't know what they're doing, they're constantly consuming TikToks, they can't read, they can't do math. But you have to come from a place of understanding. You have to understand that part of their youth, part of the time when they're supposed to socialize and develop their social skills was spent stuck inside where the only thing they can do is consume. And the only way you can help them is by coming from a place of understanding and trying to expose them to different things. Whether it be sports or instruments or whatever, make sure your kids are in social environments where they're constantly learning. That's the only way they're gonna develop. I think the way that we approach children today is ultimately detrimental to them. We severely underestimate what they're able to do. Many people think the best way to deal with kids is by making sure they're happy, which is not the way to do it at all. You have to make sure your kids are uncomfortable, trying new things, and expanding their horizons. We need
Like, for sure. We have to put these kids in situations that make them uncomfortable in a good way, in a positive light, where they can actually reflect and actually learn and have real life situations, not just, oh yeah, I'm gonna scroll on my phone. Oh yeah, I'm gonna search it up and do this. No, actually learn and actually try it before. And if it's too hard, then actually use YouTube to figure it out. Not It's more so selective learning. Like, they should be wanting to learn what their interest is. So if someone wants to learn how to stream, for instance, okay, well, what are the skills to streaming? What's the minimal essential gears I can get, I can work towards to start streaming? Or for working on cars, what are some tools that I could use to start working on my cars? Doing a simple oil change, changing the bumper, changing the lights. And then sooner or later, they're going to get the hands on skills and progress over time. But none of that's being done. They're just scrolling on TikTok. and watching your favorite streamer watch something else. That's not very, how you say, progressing. Because if you're just watching everybody with 20 versus ones and this girl, that dude, like, bro, they're not even learning nothing. That shit is, it's not real. The engagement is not real. It's fake. You brought people in a room and now they're just reacting to what the room is. Not an actual front face to face encounter. A one to one encounter. Like, bro, this shit's not it.
We need to stop coddling children, because if we continue that until they're 18, they're gonna go into the real world completely unequipped for survival. So
Yes,
if
sir.
you have a kid in Gen Alpha, first off, teach them how to throw a ball, then take away their iPad, make sure they do sports, stop coddling them, and they're gonna become a way, way, way better person. Please like and subscribe. I got bangers on the way.
I don't know what that was. Keep practicing. Honestly, I thought you were a mid-sized YouTube channel with at least 4 years making these videos. Awesome production quality. No way this guy has 146. Most generations, the world is called Genova? It doesn't feel like generation concern. This is a real concern with tech and social stuff we have now. Funny how most people think we Gen Alpha were just born with smart TVs and iPads. I grew up with VHS TVs and one of the episodes of Mario show. You have to keep in mind they are kids. We are doing so much dumb and cringing stuff from the point of view of older generations, at least. When we were kids, it just became normalized to us or partially wiped out from our mindset as we age. We had our own problems, and to be fair, we still have problems, but they're not quite with the older generations predicted they would be for us once we grew up. Well, it was like it made it easier to find more solutions to problems. That's one benefit. As of growing up, it's quicker with TikTok and basically being a new search engine. It was quicker to learn what you wanted to learn because I have selective learning. I pick out what I want to learn at that moment to benefit me. I didn't have that. Besides going on YouTube and seeing old videos from fucking 5-10 years ago. You kind of forgetting that they're a child. There's a child right now. How many dumb things you were doing at their age? Probably many of us. Bro, I was playing Manhunt. Like, there was no such thing as Riz. You'd actually have to like talk to a girl. And actually, like, bro, playing sports, getting dirty, getting hurt, fighting, like, bro, getting into fights that are stupid as hell, getting into trouble for no reason. Do they do any of that right now? No. They're talking about what's the some are talking about what's the motion. Oh, the other video, what was it? I got a comment. Oh, teach me how to Riz. Bro, you gotta be you. You gotta be confident in yourself. I can't teach you that. I could tell you, but it's not gonna work for you if you're not confident.